Hey everybody, I'm Sean, and for the first time ever, I'm doing a pre-intro to one of my videos. And the reason for that is because this video, it's a little bit different than what I normally do. I've been doing this now for over 5 years, and I have spent a lot of time fishing, as many of you know. And most of the times when I go out, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm positive, feeling like I'm gonna have a good day and I'm gonna catch some fish. It just so happens that on this instance, I wasn't feeling it from the start. and I was just having one of those days. And so I wanted to basically give you a little bit of an intro that, you know, even as somebody who loves fishing and even who as somebody who's done it as much as I have, there are times when it does not go as planned. And I think partly because of my attitude going into it. So I'll give you a little bit of a background here and then we'll jump into the video. Basically, I got back from my vacation and I wanted to get back out and do some ice fishing. It was going to be a beautiful day. It had actually rained the night before. That's how nice it was. And then it was supposed to freeze overnight and there was some light snow overnight and it was supposed to be done by morning. Got up in the morning, jumped in my van. It was still snowing. In fact, it was snowing heavier than they had forecasted. So the roads were not great, but I decided to trek out and see how they were. And I did ultimately end up getting all the way to the lake, but it was still snowing pretty heavily, more than I thought. And I actually almost got stuck in the parking lot at the lake, which had me worried from the get-go, because if it didn't stop snowing, I was worried I was going to get stuck on the way out. But I decided I was there, I was going to give it a try, and I decided to get out on the ice. And so I'll show you the intro now and the conditions, and then I'll come back. Hey everybody, I'm Sean. Welcome to another episode of Angling Spiders. Welcome back everybody. On today's episode, I am out fishing in the snow, back on the ice, trying some trout fishing. I'm back at Chain Lakes, but I have never ice fished here before. As you guys saw, I tried kayak fishing here with some success. There are also suckers in this lake, and a couple different species of trout, but mostly stalked rainbows. I'll be honest, the conditions are not as good as I thought they were going to be when I left today, so I'm not sure I'm going to be here that long, but if I do get something, you'll see it. So you can see I'm already set up on the ice here, ready to go. I'm not setting up the tent today. It's nice enough out. It's just that it's snowing more than I thought, so let's get to it. So now you've seen the conditions. You've seen that it was still snowing out there. There was a lot of slush. I mentioned before that it had rained the night before, and that rain did not freeze. And so there was 6 inches of slush and water on the top of the ice. Everything was wet. My pants were wet. My boots were wet. I have pretty good boots, but it was starting to seep in, and so I was already miserable that way. I was getting some bites. And in fact, I'm going to show you a fish that I caught right now. So I wasn't skunked, but I had another issue. Let's get to it. All right, you guys, we got one. All right, so I got a fish on and I was set up. I was ready to reel it in and my GoPro died. So I very quickly jumped up, chucked my phone on the tripod, went back to grab the rod, had to film it from my iPhone, and here's the results. All right, you guys, I got a bite here. I got a bite. Let's see what we got. We got a little sucker. We got a sucker. I have not caught a sucker in a very long time. But there it is. It's a fish. Not a very big one, but it's a fish. All right, everybody, we just got this sucker fish, and I'm gonna let it go. Here we go. And there it goes. Gone. All right, so I got a fish. It was great. It was a fish I hadn't caught in a long time, which is also nice. And then I did a nice piece fixed my GoPro, put a new battery in, started filming, did a nice piece on what I was going to do next, talked a little bit about a couple of other things, filmed the entire thing, and then realized that my GoPro wasn't functioning again. Didn't get any of the footage. Thought I did. Didn't get any of it. At this point, I actually had some more bites. I lost a few fish, and it was still snowing. And now I was really getting worried about whether I could get out of this parking lot at the end of the day because the snow was accumulating. And I thought, man, if I get stuck here, I'm in a lot of trouble, and the roads are probably getting worse. So you can probably tell by the next part, as I was finishing out the day, that I was getting a little bit more anxious and a little bit more frustrated. All right, we were just getting another bite on this line. Really subtle bite. And I assume it was a sucker. I'm not sure. I'm just going to let it sit for a minute before I check it. But I just had a little bit of movement here on this line. So it'll be back. I'm sure of that. From here, I have had a couple more bites, but no takes. And so, and I actually stuck it out for longer than I thought. I stuck it out for about another 45 minutes here. So it's pretty slow, and still not feeling it. So I'm going to call it. And that's going to do it for this episode. I will be back again on the ice soon chasing some pike. And if you like this video, smash the like button, hit subscribe, and until next time, good fishing. Not my most enthusiastic until next time, good fishing. And I can tell you that after I packed up, I started hauling everything back to the van to get packed up at the end of the day. I fell into some very deep snow, got completely covered in snow. It was in my jacket, in my pants. I was freezing, I was wet. So the hits just kept on coming. Got back to the van, loaded everything up, went to pull out of the parking lot, and I did get stuck. Thankfully, I had the shovel with me that I always have to clear off the ice. I had to shovel for 40 minutes to clear a path so I could drive out, and I was exhausted. I eventually did get out after a number of tries. Finally got back on the highway, and then the roads themselves were horrible. There had been some freezing rain, and people were going in the ditch all over the place, so I had to drive home at half the speed I normally would. It was just one of those days. And the reason I shared it this week, it happens to all of us. Thankfully, it doesn't happen that often. But sometimes you just can't manufacture the good days. So I'm going to end this one twice as well, because I do not like the way I ended that one. And so here you go. I'll be back out on the ice soon. I hope you guys enjoyed this glimpse into not one of my better days. And if you like the video, smash that like button, hit subscribe. And until next time, good fishing.